Alright, and we're back. And this is the second part of my everything I played in 2021 in terms of video games, and we're going from 13 to 25. We are going straight down. Alright, so starting off with number 13, or picking up from number 13, and the 13th game I finished in 2021 was Sonic Mania. Now, I'm not really the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I really like the movie, but I'm not crazy about the games. I'm not really the biggest Sonic fan ever, but I did really have a lot of fun with Sonic Mania. The platforming was awesome, the bosses were great, a little frustrating at times, but not too bad. But this was definitely a great Sonic game, definitely one of the best games from 2017. And I think many fans have considered this to be the best Sonic game of all time. And I honestly would definitely see that because it is a fantastic experience and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Sonic Mania is the 13th game I finished this year. Alright, moving on to number 14 in terms of games I finished. Halo Fireteam Raven. This was an arcade game, but what happened was I went to New Jersey for a few days in August, and I was like, you know what, me and a friend were at an arcade, and we decided to play some Halo Fireteam Raven, and this is like a very short, on-rail shooter. You can finish this in I'd say 45 minutes and under an hour, depending on how much you have in terms of the swipe cards, where you put money on the card and you basically swipe it and then you're playing the games. But this was a great game. It was very fun, I don't think it fits into the Halo lore at all, which I'm not too familiar with, but it was definitely a fun little one. I don't think I'd play it again, but I definitely had fun with it for what it was. It does get repetitive, but that's understandable, and it didn't overstay its welcome. And when it got to the end, I was fine with how it ended. So, all right, the 15th game I finished was Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I actually started this in July after I heard the Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope got announced, and I gotta say, Mario Rabbids is actually really damn good. Surprisingly good. I thought the idea of a Rabbids game nowadays especially would be an absolutely stupid idea. The Rabbids are often considered the minions of video games, but I really liked Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It was weirdly fun and weirdly charming, and the Rabbids never got annoying, but this was definitely one of the biggest surprises from 2017, and definitely one of my favorites. It was goofy, it was silly, and it just was above all fun. And I definitely do want there to be a follow-up, which they are doing, which definitely is going to be interesting to see. So I know we got Rabbit or Rosalina, which I guess people are hyped about. Are they? Anyways, 16th game I finished this year was the Pathless. This was made by the same guys as Abzu and some of the same creators of Journey and I think other games too, but this was a great game. The Pathless, it's kind of like Breath of the Wild meets Shadow of the Colossus meets, trying to think what else, and Journey. It's a really beautiful game. It is short, it's not too long. I think it will take you around 8 hours to finish, but I had a lot of fun with this game. It was beautiful to look at, traversing the world was really great, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something fun. But anyways, the Pathless of 16th game I finished this year. 17th game I finished was Hitman from 2016. This is the first in the Hitman series, and it was definitely something interesting to finally play, because I actually always did want to play through this. I played through it I think a few years back, but I never finished the full thing. But Hitman 2016 really surprised me at how in-depth this game was, because there is so much you can do. You can replay. I think on how long to beat, the completionist path is 96 hours, which I'm not shocked by, but this was a great time to play through. It definitely was really hard at times too, even on the normal setting, and definitely is one of those games you gotta be in the right mood to play, because if you can run through it and kill everyone, but you're gonna get a really shitty score by the end of the game. So, but I really liked Hitman 2016. It was really fun, and definitely one of the best games from 2016. Alright, number 18 is probably my game of the year in 2021, and was a game I never thought would ever get made, and that was Metroid Dread. So happy this finally came to be, because I absolutely loved a Metroid. I played 2 other Metroid games on this list. I won't say what they are, but I was so thankful we finally got Metroid Dread after all these years, after all the like just secrecy that was behind this game, because it was pretty much kept under wraps for years, and the fact that we finally got it after so long just it hit me here. I've absolutely loved Metroid Dread, and I was so thankful to see it won Best Action Adventure Game. Metroid Dread definitely my favorite Switch game of all time, and we'll have to wait and see if Breath of the Wild 2 overtakes it, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, 19th game I finished this year was No More Heroes. I heard No More Heroes 3 was coming out, and I was like, I want to play through the first two, and thankfully they got ported to Switch. Really enjoyed No More Heroes, but I definitely think there were issues with it. I feel like at times the difficulty would be spiked out of nowhere, be like pretty easy at first, but then the difficulty would just spike out of nowhere. This was definitely pretty damn fun to play, though. I had a good time with it. I feel like it kind of like I did a lot of the side stuff. I did a lot of like side quests and stuff, but it was a really good game, and I'm looking forward to playing No More Heroes 2 and 3, which I do own. So yeah, 19th game was No More Heroes. All right, now we're down into the last 5 games. I played 6 or 5 games in 2021, and the 20th game I played was Alan Wake Remastered, and I think I chose a pretty damn good time to play this because right when Remastered came out, 3 months after that, or 2 months after that, the announcement of Alan Wake 2 was confirmed, and at the Game Awards, and that looks really good. But Alan Wake Remastered, I'm really glad I finally got to play. Great game, really intense, really scary. Well, it didn't really scare me. I thought it was more frightening than intense, but than scary. Right? It was definitely a great game and really fun experience, and I'm glad I finally got to play it. Yet after all these years, definitely one of the best games from 2010 and one of the best survival horror games of the last 10 years. So. Alright, moving on to number 21, Maneater. I actually got this at Black Friday last year, but I sold my PS4 copy and got it on PS5, and I can say this is a really weird game. It has a lot of elements that are both janky, it feels wonky at times, and clunky, but it's actually really fun once you get really into it, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure in my eyes. Like, there's a lot of issues with it, but I kind of love it. And it was definitely a fun experience to play for the first time all the way through. I don't think I'd play it again anytime soon in the future, but was definitely glad I got to play it. Alright, 22nd game I played this year. I don't think this really counts as a game because it's more of a tech demo, like a showcase to show what Unreal Engine 5 is, but that is the Matrix Awakens and Unreal Engine 5 experience. This is I guess a tech demo they decided to release to promote the Matrix Resurrections as well as Unreal Engine 5, because more companies I think are going to start going down the same path. But this was definitely really cool to see. It showed how beautiful it looked, like some of the best graphics I've ever seen, but it's definitely was a fun little simple experience. It's like only 21 minutes long, but it was definitely a fun little one to play through, and I had a good time with it. Don't think I'd play it again because it was a tech demo and there's not really much to do, but definitely interesting to see. Alright, 23rd game was Hitman 2. Great game, really fun, very much more strategical than the first one, but definitely really good. The story I feel like was more engaging than the first game, even though I don't really play the Hitman series for story. But I definitely had a lot of fun with this. So, great game, Hitman 2. 24th game I finished, this is the last 2 games I finished, was Super Metroid. Now, after I finished Metroid Dread, I'm like, I should probably finish Super Metroid because I never finished it as a kid. So I was like, I went back and decided to replay it all the way, to play it from the beginning on SNES Classic, or not the SNES Classic, the online service, and this was pretty great to finally play. I absolutely love Super Metroid. It was very challenging, very cryptic at times, but not too bad where I was like annoyed, but it was a great game, I thought. It was definitely one of the best games from the 90s in my opinion, and easily one of my favorite games of all time now. And the 25th game and last game I played in 2021 was Metroid Zero Mission. And this was on the Game Boy Advance. I actually have a physical copy on Game Boy Advance, and this was a pretty great game. Really awesome, like just remake of the original Metroid, which hasn't really aged that well. And I was really glad I finally got to play it after all these years, and it was one of the I'd say best games on the Game Boy Advance next to Fusion, but if you've never played Zero Mission, definitely check it out. Just don't pay like $5,000 for an original copy. Like get a repro or emulate it or something. But yeah, now that concludes this like list. I covered every game I finished this year. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I may do another one in March, possibly at the end of March, for every game I finished in the first quarter of this year, depending on how many video games I finished in the first quarter of this year. I might do a video showing off what I finished, but I don't know yet. But would you guys like to see that? And that concludes this video, and I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.